Oh, I didn't. Oh, look what I did. I could have
Oh,
swore I put her
okay,
up
I see
there.
what you did there. I see what you did there.
No, actually, I thought I actually put you up there when I put me and Donnie up there when it was playing. But oh well, it is what it
Oh my goodness. Well, welcome in everybody and happy frickin' Wednesday. This week has been crazy, crazy. And as everybody had tuned in Monday for our memorial show,
is. Hmm.
um, you know, um, yeah, it has been just absolutely crazy. Um, as everybody else knows, I was in Ocala for the weekend for the Bigfoot conference there, which went absolutely crazy. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you so much, Mickey, for the 5 new Booze Club members. We appreciate you so much. We're just waiting for people to file in.
How did I not get one? Wait a second. Time out.
What?
I didn't get one. I didn't
No,
get one
you
of the
didn't.
5 members. I didn't get one of the
No,
5
you
members.
weren't. So sorry. Anyway,
Suck. I don't
um,
get nothing.
so that was super super exciting, and I took my daughter with me. She had a great time. We ended up staying in the we drove over to Mobile on Sunday, and we decided to stay at the haunted Malaga hotel or inn,
Hmm.
whatever. I think it's Malaga Inn. Anyway, the hotel was built in the 1800s, and they say that there is a ghost of a woman that has a tendency to appear to walk out on the balconies and walk out, across things. And on another show, we'll talk about that. I'll show you pictures, all that kind of good stuff. And but we really had fun. We had to kind of cut it short, of course, but uh, we had a good time. So we'll talk about that on another show.
With
What else has
truth
happened?
tinfoil, so that way I can debunk it all.
Yeah, if there's anything to debunk, you just don't know. You just don't know.
I can debunk
Um,
everything.
right. So everybody, I've got back here on this side, you can see the
I see them.
burial vaults
I see them. Yeah. I
are
didn't know they were
now,
that big.
yeah,
I
they
thought
are
they were
now,
smaller than that.
no, and they're actually back from the camera. So they are in the house now. Um, I've been too tired to notice anything if anything has happened. I'm just saying. But we'll
That I
talk
can dig.
about that on another show. On another show.
Yeah, I can
Absolutely.
dig. I can dig that.
Yeah, but they're
Anywho,
here. They are so here. And it has been interesting. It has been interesting. I got to do a little more research into these things, exactly figure out when this particular model was out. Um,
yeah,
like I said, the company started in 1955. So we shall see. We shall see, because they said
yes.
it's been back there for a number of years. So,
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Of course, here around here, I don't think they really do burial vaults like that. All the vaults that the caskets go into here are literally slabs of concrete. They're concrete boxes, is what they are. So I don't
yeah, these
know
ones,
where those would get put here
uh,
anyway.
well, see, they're made for places that are at the water table level.
Go
Um,
above ground stuff, right?
no, 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 no. What
Okay.
they do is they'll place them in the ground. They're made
Okay.
of concrete and metal.
Hmm.
They'll dump them in the ground, and then they will put your casket inside them, and
Hmm.
then they will lock it shut. For number one, it's supposed to be theft proof. You know what I'm saying about that? And the other thing is, it's to make sure that when you bury somebody, they stay put. It's heavy, so they will stay put when the water comes underneath the ground that we can't see a lot.
Yeah.
Um, you won't slide or move. You will stay positioned in the right spot. Um, as far as I know, there's no state regulation stating you have to have these, but
In Texas, there is.
it depends from cemetery to cemetery. Now, now it
Yeah.
says now that there are no state law that you have to have these, but cemetery to cemetery, they could say
Yeah.
you either have to have it or you don't get buried here.
with Texas, if you're in a normal cemetery where they do the 6 foot deep and so forth, so on, where traditional burial is what they call it, you have to have that locker, either that concrete box or something like. I'm guessing something like that would work as well. But like I said, most of what we
Again,
see is
I
concrete box.
like I said, I'll have to look into it because the
Yeah,
last time I checked state law, there were no state laws.
but
It's cemetery to cemetery. It's based on what they want.
yeah, it depends on the person too if they're going into that, because there's other burials in the state of Texas where it's the natural burial where they do the shallow grave with the decomposable, decomposing. Uh, I don't want to say sack, but essentially they wrap you and they treat the body, they wash the body, and then they wrap you in a biodegradable sheet, shall we say? Bury it shallow, and then you go
Yeah,
back to the dirt like you're supposed to.
yeah.
Honestly,
I just scatter me to the wind, people.
thank
Just
you. Just give burn me and feed me to the fish. I'm good.
it's like don't waste the space. Keep the earth beautiful. Just let me go.
Yeah, I'm not there anyway. Let me alone.
I don't need to take up no more space.
Yeah, if you
Right.
can't use
It's
any of
like
my organs, burn it all up.
right. Yeah, I just, don't take any more space. Anyway, but while I was in Ocala, I got to meet this beautiful person. Her name is Monique, and she was talking to me and she was showing me some videos that she happened to have had. And I'm like, you know me. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I need to, I really need to see, a lot of stuff that you have." Um, and we're gonna bring her up in just a moment and
Hmm.
talk about it because we do have her some of her videos. So this is
Sure do.
fantastic. Of course, it's the Paranormal Show and Tell. Of course, Donnie, what you been up to?
Just normal life, I guess. Still getting things settled in here in North Carolina, and just work and life, really.
The work life.
Yeah,
I hate adulting. It's the worst.
adulting. Yep, that's the word. That's the
That's
word of the
it.
day.
Yeah, because I had to go back to work today. My vacation was over, and I call it a workcation. My workcation is over, and I had to go back to the other job. So I'm like, ah, I don't want to do this. I just
Hmm.
didn't want to do it.
Dang, we
And
hate we hate real work.
I know. I'd rather do something at my leisure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Randy, have you done anything spectacular or not? Or he
You
is
Randy?
so
saw
not
it
listening.
after doing. We did the Celtic Fest this last weekend, huh?
Yeah.
What happened? Did- I did the Celtic Fest
Nothing.
this last week or so weekend, and 3 days of all sorts of fun jazz type stuff. And after that, I mean, I just came home. We were supposed to have done a ghost hunt on Friday or Saturday night, but after the rain on Friday, we had a great day Saturday. None of the VIP stuck it out to come out for the ghost hunt, so we sat around the campfire just telling stories and BS. And then came home Sunday after my last set, and that's when I got the word that night, obviously. And then I texted Tex, and that's when the whole bit of Monday came about. So outside of
Right,
that,
right.
just working. Like I said, I got my
That's
brother
how that
coming in
works.
from Virginia tonight, so he should be here any minute if he isn't already. He's probably downstairs eating my. I made SOS and biscuits, for dinner. So hey, he's probably down there eating my daggum biscuits.
Oh well, too bad.
Yeah,
All
it
right,
is
well,
what it
let's
is.
go ahead and bring up Monique, and let's get talking about what she brought to us today. Hi, Monique.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for joining
Hi.
us.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
oh no, we appreciate you coming on. Tell us who you are and basically what you're doing.
Okay. Well, my name is Monique Brunette. I was born and raised for part of my life in Miami, Florida. So I am a native Floridian. And I,
Oh,
yeah, not too many of us. I am a published author. I have a semi fiction romance adventure series involving the Egyptian gods, with my main focus on Sobek. And here's, I don't know if I can show it. That's book 1. It's called When Life and Dreams Meet. And then I have Sobek's Return. And that's book 2. Book 3 is Rise, Story of a Demigod. And then my newest one, which I just got published this year, is that I wrote, is a prequel, and it's Renanudit. It's the snake-headed goddess.
Okay, who did the artwork on that one?
I actually had to. Well, my hubby assisted me with the definitely the last one. The second to the last one, I came up with. It's all AI art.
Oh,
so
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it still took a lot of tweaking and getting
Well,
it
yeah,
right.
you gotta play with it, get it where it needs to be. Donnie knows that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it doesn't listen.
Now with your books, where are they sold? Are they online or are
They're
they
on Barnes and Noble. I used to be with Amazon, but I was having so many issues that now I'm just with Barnes and Noble, and and I sell at book events and that kind of thing. Like signings. I do book signings and that. And I don't have my other book here, but I have one that is not with the series, that is based on my life and my experiences. I am a lifetime experiencer. Seems to run in the family, but mine has been like constant. And whereas my family, it's just been like kind of maybe the one odd incident.
Right. Now, what are you experiencing? I mean, what type of phenomena?
I've had everything from spirit visitation to interaction with what I believe, anyways, because that's how they appear. Because I've had paralysis episodes since I was a baby, and every time I've had them, I do not see, like, I've not seen people say, oh, they see what they call the Hat Man or the witch or something like that. Every time with my episodes, I've seen what looks like the grays, but they're not the short grays. Sometimes there's a tall gray, and then there's like a shorter one with him, or it's just these taller grays, but their heads are a little larger than the typical grays, and they have this black. I don't know. I just always seem to see those. Or I've had instances where I've been in the paralysis, and I hate it because I don't like being restricted, not being able to move and all. And I've seen what look like ET children. They look like me, but they look like they're ETs. I mean, they don't have hair on their heads and all that, but yet I can see my own facial features in them. So it's just been kind of weird stuff. It's just been happening my entire life. I've had time slips, and I've had absence of time, and it's just been pretty much steady going on my entire life. And in fact, it doesn't seem to be that a month I don't have something take place, especially when I go to bed at night. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I saw the video. I don't either. I don't either. I mean, I kind of do, but I mean, we can't really say that yet. But I mean, most frequently, have you seen? When's the last time that you've seen something like an entity of some sort, whether it be alien or it's paranormal, ghost?
Okay. Well, the last one I saw was actually in that one video I've sent to you on the YouTube video, where it was literally you see in the video something really fast drop down on me, and it's real tiny, and it just drops on me. And with that, immediately I went into paralysis. And I remembered seeing what looked like a woman, but I also know, now this is just, my opinion in that, from my understanding is that sometimes ETs will appear like a human in that to be less frightening. But as if the paralysis itself isn't frightening,
Right, because you're fully awake and can't move. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But it literally felt like when I saw her standing there, of course, I have the audio to it, but when I made it for the YouTube video, I just had the music play, but I have the video. I hope I still have it, where you can hear me talking, but it was weird. It doesn't sound like me talking.
Yeah.
But I was trying to tell her to take off. Can you please remove the restraints off of my hands and feet? So
yeah,
that was my last experience of seeing something, physically seeing something.
I mean, you say that it doesn't sound like you. Is it because your voice changed, or is the cadence of how you speak changed, or what exactly did not sound like you?
Well, when I heard it, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it was because I was in some kind of a, maybe state.
We're just call it a state.
It just didn't. It didn't sound like a normal speaking voice, though.
Right.
So it was like almost like it didn't sound like me. But I honestly couldn't tell you, why that was, or if it was me and my voice just changed. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you kind of ask yourself, why was I talking like that? Yeah. Okay, I get it now. So let's go to that little clip that she's talking about.
Okay, do you want to go to the full I'll tell you in a second. The YouTube video.
Yeah,
we can go straight to the YouTube. Okay, we're gonna play
you don't see a materialization.
Yeah.
Something, but I could see her. It's just that the only thing you do see on there is this tiny, light or whatever drops down on me.
Yep.
And when I went immediately into para.
And also in this one, there's several different videos associated with this one. I'm going to go ahead and take it to the point that she's talking about right now, so we'll see that before we go through all the others.
Yeah, and then we can is there a way to slow it down?
Not on a YouTube video, no.
Okay.
If I can find the original of it where you can hear me.
It's fine. I'm going to set you right here, and I'm going to bring this up right now. And
we're looking directly. We're looking directly above you. Now, this is where you're.
Yeah. It's right after
laying
this
on the bed, and
after that.
Okay.
You have to be a speed reader, so it's like you might well look at the camera though, not the footage, because it happens so fast.
Okay, I'm gonna back it up here. I'm gonna stop right there because we know right then you go into sleep paralysis. What you're talking about, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna back up, see if we can get a better.
I wish there was a way for it to really stand out where you can see it drop down on me.
And it's kind of tough. You see it's blurred coming down, obviously, because it came down relatively quick, is what it looks like to me.
I see it. Okay.
You see where we're talking about right above? Here, I'll move my. I guess just right there. See it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there was another part of this, though, before we even got to this, that when it first starts, actually, the video starts going, it sounds like you kind of whimper from underneath the covers, too.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I probably would.
Maybe you might have been having a little bit of a night issue with the dreams or something at that point too. But yeah, I mean, you right at that point, then you go into the sleep paralysis after that thing comes down.
Yep.
Because you don't move anymore. I noticed that you don't move anymore at all, and we saw the covers moving.
Yeah. I hated it.
So that's and this explains the 4 security camera footage immediately following the last footage. Nothing on it was visible. So that's I'm gonna get it back to it again because I don't want y'all to see that part. Okay. Oh, it's still going in. Now, when this starts, I want you to listen real close, okay?
Okay.
When that video starts, you'll hear something. Didn't hear it that time. Heard it the first time.
I thought I heard something. From you.
I
I
did
never.
too.
I
You
never
thought you heard?
noticed.
Yeah, right as it's typing and such, you start the movement starts up there, and it sounds like there's a little whimper come out, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, with the music on it, if I had the full raw video, I could tell better, but the music on it kind of dampens it down some. So
Yeah. I was trying to have a what do you call it? A video, a group of
yeah,
videos into one video,
oh
so
yeah,
that's
I get
why
you.
I had the music to it. But
Yeah.
I do believe my husband has the original
Yeah.
with, so I can always send that later.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, because
That'd
that'd
be
be
cool.
something because then I can really slow it down and really see if we can see what that
Yeah,
is
because then we
dropping.
can blow it up and really look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I know that blowing this one up the way it is right now, and I'll bring it back up real quick. Blowing it up the way it is right now, you're going to get pixelated, obviously, right here. But your raw video should be a lot more high definition, shall we say?
Okay.
And we should be able to see pretty good what was there.
Okay.
Okay,
Provided
so explain to us now what happens. We see this thing come down, and then you go into paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And when the weird thing is with these paralysis episodes, and I don't know if you've heard about this, but they believe that there is some belief that there is a connection with it and ET stuff, ET contact. But I think it can also be involved too with the paranormal,
Mhm.
with things like that. Because basically you're in a kind of a vulnerable state, right? And I had a friend who explained something to me that made a lot of sense too, because I was like, wow, that is true. Because when I'm in these states, like I can see my room.
Yeah.
But what I'll see is sometimes there'll be an object in my room that isn't part of the room.
Yeah.
It's really, really
Doesn't
weird.
quite belong there, huh?
Yeah. Now, the freakiest one I had, and that was literally, gosh, when did that happen? Maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. That one gave me the creeps. It was the first time ever where, I mean, I don't like sleep paralysis episodes, period. But this one, holy cow, I felt like like my soul or whatever got so far away. I went into, it's so weird. In book 2 of my book, that's why I called semi-fiction, right? Because some of it's based on I do channeling and that kind of thing, but I also kind of put some of my experiences in there, and I described, well, here's what it was. I got this information about, this was what I was told it was called when I was doing the channeling. it was referred to as Caspella. It is a dimension that is the middle ground dimension that divides the upper dimensions and the lower dimensions, but like anything can get in this,
Jumbled up in there.
and lost souls and stuff can end up there. But I mean, like anything, you really wouldn't want to be in this place because dark things use it to manipulate it and stuff, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And there's like this fuzzy blue light. So it's dark, but there's this like fuzzy blue light. And I never thought I would actually, like when I wrote about this, lo and behold, I never thought, like, you know, this book's been out a few years now, and but I never thought I'd end up seeing what I wrote about. And I remembered it was so uncomfortable being there. And I remembered there was 3 Asian guys that passed by me, and their eyes. I mean, I know I've heard about, like, you know, obviously, you know, our eyes, and that we have our natural glow to us because we're living in that. And then you have, you know, someone who's passed on that. But this was different. I don't know how to explain it for something that wasn't, or souls that aren't living. This, like, it's like a real dead kind of stare in their eyes. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like
kind of a glazed.
Yes.
Okay.
And it freaked me out. And I remembered hearing that they were members of the triads. When that's what I was hearing while I'm walking through this place. But all I wanted to do was get out of there. It was just the most uncomfortable feeling. And that happened in not this. I just had a paralysis last week. Yeah, last week. So it was before that. So it would have been like 3 weeks ago, because I get these episodes happen to me every month. I wish I could go like a whole month without them, but they always happen.
Yeah.
I've been having it since I was a baby. So, and seeing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Right. Now, just a question, but I mean, have you seen a doctor? Could there be a medical reason why you're having physical paralysis?
I have actually seen, I went to a sleep specialist too, and they were like, "Oh, no, it's fine." And I was just kind of it. So nobody's actually really gone further as to why this has been going on my entire life. So, but they were like, "Oh, it's fine," you know. But it's just weird that. And then my daughter, she's only had a couple of them, and luckily she wasn't real young, not like me. But she said she also saw 2 beings. It freaked her out. They were standing right beside her bed. She said there was a taller one and a shorter one. Those are the same ones I saw. They look like ETs.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Yes, I did.
30 minutes in.
Got it.
Okay. Go ahead, ma'am.
What did you hear?
Yeah,
Something was breaking in to the stream again.
My chair's really creaky, so it could have been that.
It sounded like voices. It sounded like
voices. But go ahead and creaky.
Okay.
Go creaky, Gotti. Cricket.
Just saying, yeah.
And
No,
we've
I
had stuff
meant chair,
overflow.
so we can hear it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can you hear anything?
Nope.
No.
I heard your chair earlier, but it.
No.
And I'll go back and look.
Yeah, it broke in when Monique was speaking, so I was like, well, let's, you know.
We'll see if it's a bleed over, because a couple of times I've heard bleed overs from different mics and such. So I'll check it tonight, and we'll go from there.
And Monique, don't think we're crazy, because
No.
we have found the weirdest stuff. We have found the weirdest stuff breaking into to our streams. So it's
No, I'm like, I hope you don't think my stories are crazy, or you know.
No. So, okay, so we're here at this point.
Mhm.
The sleep paralysis begins.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens in this video?
In that particular video, I could see I could see at the foot of my bed, and I could see a woman there where I thought was a woman. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that it was a human woman. And I just, that's where I was trying to speak to say, can you take these restraints off of my hands and feet? I don't like it. And but what was said didn't sound anything like it didn't
Anything
sound
like what you just said.
it didn't sound anything like what I just said. It was crazy. So
All right. Well,
I
let's
definitely got to get that footage to you.
Okay. So, Randy, how much longer on this video do we have?
We could go starting from the first part, and this has only got a couple more seconds after this. But you saw it all the way to the typing where it types out about the fourth video not having anything. That's where it ends. Is that?
Okay.
Now I can take you all the way to the front, and there's some orb information, and stuff going on. There's a couple other videos you want to look at too. So we can let her talk about them after we see those two if you want, and we go from there.
Let's just pull up one and see where we're going.
It's on the same video, so.
Okay.
So okay, we'll start with video 1 here first.
Okay.
You have to. I'm sorry, the word can make you miss it.
Nope, right there. Okay, so this is that little we talked about the orb thing earlier.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention.
Like that. There we go.
Now
this was at a different time. This is July of last year.
Yeah.
10 o'clock at night. So
I wasn't there, if you see.
Yeah, nobody's there at 10 o'clock. So
yeah, I was at a retreat, and that retreat was the first time 2 nights in a row. Then one night I had a break, and then the third night I kept getting the paralysis. I had so this was going on when I had sleep paralysis at this retreat, and then I get this on the security cam.
I got you.
One of the nights I had the paralysis.
All right, so we're gonna let this go. I'm gonna let it bring it back a couple seconds here, and we'll let it go again. I'm gonna try and pause it right as it comes along. Now, notice if you're looking at it, and y'all know me, I'm looking at stuff trying to see if there's anything that can actually, kind of give it some sort of. There's no dust, no nothing at this point. You don't see anything moving in that room. You're not going, Brandy. You're muted.
Sorry.
Try that again.
I'm myself because I'm hearing echoes.
You get that when we do any of these videos like that, though. So
I know it. We know that if there is one dust particle, there is 1,000.
Yeah, and there's not any going.
And we don't see any other dust particle except for this one. Now, the video that she has shown me before this, we're gonna have to wait and watch that one, because this one here, people could say, "Hey, that's a dust particle."
Yeah,
but could. I've seen other stuff that she's sent or she's got, and I know for darn sure that this is not a dust particle.
I would say no on this, and this comes from somebody like me. I debunk everything. I question everything. But when you're looking at that right there, there's nothing else in that room that's doing this.
There's nothing.
And it's almost perfectly circular. And you know me and orbs. I'm not an orb guy.
Yeah.
And could it be? Yes, it could be an actual, a piece of dust. But it just doesn't fit with the scenario you got. Yeah, it doesn't
Let's just talk about one piece of dust. Okay.
If you got one, you got thousands. Okay. And there's going to be airflow. There's going to be something that's going to do it. Now, could it be a floating water vapor? Yeah, it could do that too, but it just doesn't fit that how do I put it? it doesn't fit those parameters that we look at for water vapor and such. Okay, either. So
Right.
I would say I can't debunk it based off what I'm seeing right here. Okay, I can't say what it is, and I can't say what it isn't.
Right.
But I could quite honestly, I would almost say I could bet that it's not dust. I would bet that. So okay,
Yeah, I mean, so true. So
yeah,
true. I would say, if you don't believe me about the dust particles, just take one of a pillow off one of your couches and just give
oh
it
yeah,
just hit one of the pillows on your
hmm
couches and then take
yeah,
a picture
yeah, at night or
at night.
silhouetted in some way, shape, or form
Yeah, and you're gonna
with
see
night
them
vision.
everywhere.
I about to
Right,
say if
right.
you do it with night vision, you're gonna see them like crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but okay, let's get this pushed to that second video that's on here.
Okay.
August 25 now. Now, me and her talked about this one before we started out today. Me and Monique talked about this one, and we've
Mhm,
got another one we'll show after this as well. That there's some things that are going here.
mhm.
Okay, then it's just that. Now you saw how that one on video too. You heard how that change, that click. Well, it didn't hear it. I didn't get it far enough that time. I don't guess. Get it back here where we can actually hear it. That click.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Monique, you said you had you had a reptile, I'd say terrarium for lack of a better term, but your reptile enclosure. But this was before that, right?
Right. Yeah, I didn't have that yet then. My reptile enclosure is pretty new. I've only
Yeah,
had it like about a
yeah.
month. Yeah. But I've been
Okay,
having
so
these episodes, the clicking and that's been
yeah,
going on long before.
yeah. So I've never heard anything click like that. I've never heard any cameras click like that unless it was actually a shutter type camera. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I cannot
I
tell you
can't
what that
explain
was.
it.
I can't either because we're going to drop this one down. We're going to go right into the other one that she sent me that I don't have to deal with YouTube on. And this one was what we were talking about. This is
Mhm.
I think this is the first one. I'm trying to make sure I get the right one. This was the first one in chronological order. So this one would be at the 4 o'clock in the morning one. Okay. Once it comes up and I'll bring it up after that. Okay. So this is at 4:55, 4:53 or so in the morning on, wasn't it like 2 days ago, 3 days ago or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah.
as you listen to this now, 4:52, 6:13. Now, me and her talked about this. You heard it not once but twice. Okay,
Mhm.
and we know what the different flashes are. We figured out that the sensor is picking up on the light of the terrarium or the enclosure, and it's trying to change from day to night vision. But I have never in all my years of dealing with these cameras like this I've never heard this. I've never heard this. Listen again. Clicking it changes. Clicking it changes. But see that difference right there? It wasn't exactly during the change. When it went back to night vision, you got the bright flash or the bright light, but it did not coincide with the click.
And I have that terranium, I have that heat lamp on 24/7
Yeah.
and it doesn't do it. A lot of, I mean, this was the night before the Bigfoot conference. all night long, every video. I've never
Mhm.
had that happen. That was the first time where all the clicks, the constant videos where it keeps showing the lighting change or
Yeah.
whatever. That was constant that night. That's the first time in my life since having with the security cam, and having in the past where I might have one episode of it and that, but this was
Yeah.
all throughout the entire night. It kept doing that, but it never
Yeah.
woke me, never heard it. I've
No.
been in the room during the day and it's happened. I never heard it, never seen anything. It was perfectly bright in my room,
Yep.
and I'll go back and I'll look at the video. I'm like, I was sitting right there. I didn't notice anything. I didn't hear any clicks in it, but it's on the video, on the security cam video. And
Well,
I'm sitting here just looking at my computer, and it's
why did it do that? And I'm seeing, I'll bring this next one because this is like 20 minutes later on the same day. You see, and I can see all your motion detections you're getting. So
yeah,
it's constantly picking something up, even
yeah,
if you're not moving. I mean, but that once again, we talked about that way that light might be playing with your sensor a little bit, but
yeah.
still. Now listen
But
to this
I
one.
get those. I get a lot of those detections. So long before I had the tank, I was getting that too.
Yeah. So there you go. It's picking up on something there. I don't know what, and I can't tell you what. But listen to this one again though. This is the second one. Click and it change. Click, and that time it's in sync with the change in day to night. This is where I'm at the loss.
Well, I'm kind of thinking the other video had a slight lag, which
It
they
very well
can.
could have. It very
Okay,
well could have.
so I mean that's very explainable.
Hmm.
But this would be going on all night long for her
Hmm.
on
That's what it
every
looks like.
single video.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And these kind of cameras, they capture 15 to 20 seconds. That's all they grab. Then you got a
Mhm.
30-second refresh, and then it'll do it again, or whatever it ends up being, whatever the camera is. But they don't
Mhm.
constantly record. So, um, I just can't explain the sound. I cannot explain the sound
Yeah,
because it sounds like it echoes.
I can't explain the light either,
I
honestly.
mean, because listen to this. It sounds like it echoes, doesn't it?
It does. Hold on. I'm trying to look at it.
Turn it up and listen to that
Now,
sound.
the terrarium is not in view.
No,
Am I
but the light could be causing some sort of, because it's down in that area. That light could cause the sensor to go with. But either way, I still never heard one of those cameras do that.
Yeah.
No.
But before I had the I don't know how you pronounce it, terrarium or
Terrarium, yeah.
terrarium. It was also, I have videos of it doing the same thing where it clicks and it's in that corner. I don't know. It just seems like there's activity. I was like, do I have a portal
Well,
there?
Yeah, I mean, because honestly, this is just me looking at these like I look at with our show when we did before, Brandy. I'm looking at this and I'm trying to think of what, number one, what could be making the sound. I can't answer that. Number two, why is it picking it up as an echo after it? Why is it reverberating?
I don't know. The problem I'm having is that the terrarium would have to be emitting some type of waver in its light for it to keep grabbing at it like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means, like, when your light flickers, like if you have a night light on and it flickers,
Yep.
that's when your security camera would do something like that.
It should, yeah.
But if she's only got the heat lamp on,
which will have some sort of light out of it, though.
And a light is fine, but it would have to waver nonstop. You know what I mean? It would have to flicker, and she would have noticed that because we all know that we can't have our animals having a defective heat lamp because it wouldn't regulate the temperature. Yeah, it wouldn't regulate the temperature.
Don't worry about it. It's Florida. They'll be all right. It's okay.
That's true. In an air conditioning home, that's not good.
Yeah. No,
But
no.
you know what I mean? So it would have to keep some sort of temperature. And if it was flickering or wavering or something like that, it wouldn't have the correct temperature or keep the correct temperature.
Exactly. I get it.
So with this light, okay. So with this light doing what it's doing, maybe there is a flicker in that light that
We can't
is
see.
not explained by science.
Yeah.
Which is in return making that security camera do its thing.
Could be. Very well could
Like
be.
it's trying to get some type of attention.
Well,
Because
yeah,
we all know the video about my garage and when the light was going on and off, on and off,
Yeah.
on and off.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of the same thing. If I had security cameras, my security cameras would be going, whether the light would be in view or not,
Yeah.
but it would do something like that. I think there's a little something more than just the terrarium light.
Well,
It
yeah,
is.
as I said, the before I have videos prior to this security
Yeah.
cam videos doing the very same thing when I didn't have
Yeah.
terrarium or the heat lamp, and it was doing that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's something more that is affecting. Now it could be motion detecting,
Yeah.
which
And
could be causing that, trying to focus in and
Yep.
trying to adjust the light to see it.
Well, it should be according to that log right there. The motion's being detected of some sort for it to kick on in the first place.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
detecting
what I
some
mean.
sort of motion. Now, Life with Bobby's got a interesting. I think me and Monique talked about this earlier too. Notice the security camera that would click when going from color to night vision and vice versa. She uses the EEC or whatever they call them,
These clouds.
which is that's the software. That's the software you use when you're viewing it and such.
But the actual camera.
Yeah, maybe we need to look at the camera itself
Yeah.
and see what the
Yeah,
brand is.
I mean, I've never heard them click before.
Mine
doesn't mean
that
they
I
don't.
use on EEC don't click either, but they may be
Yeah.
different than what she's got. So,
Yeah, nothing that I have clicks like that. But
but
For
if
it to be
he's at it, so
but to be catching motion, we're talking about something else. I think we're really talking about something else. I don't think we're talking about cameras. I don't think we're talking about software. I think we're talking about something that science can't explain here. Only due
very
to
well
the
could be.
fact is that it keeps trying to go from light to dark and catch something motion that is making a motion.
Yeah. Now, and I'll play devil's advocate on that because I've got cameras up at the office, the Arlos and stuff like that, and trust me, I had to take them down to the lowest sensitivity on the motion detection because
Mhm.
any little dirt dauber or wasp or something or a spider that would get around them, I was getting dings all night long. And these are in a warehouse. So I'm going to have that stuff in there. So I had to take it down. Now, maybe the sensitivity, even a slight move of the toe is causing it to kick up, You won't see that motion. It's just enough to get it to detect, but it won't actually be on the actual camera. So I'm with you though. I don't understand the clicking, but
Yeah, because
I'm trying to grasp.
we're talking about it clicking from going from color to night vision.
And vice versa. Yeah.
Why are we doing that in a dark room?
Yeah.
That's where we need to think about that.
Yeah.
Is why is it trying to come into color? Like there is something there that it's not focusing in on and it's trying to. So
And
it's trying to
Monique-
use any mechanism that it can think of or it's programmed to think of to grab it and it's not getting it.
And like as Monique earlier, if she could get the raw video from before you had the terrarium there, when you're saying one of those that you're talking about that you got it on as well, then let me see that, and then maybe we could figure out. Yeah.
Well, like that one that's on the YouTube video, that was before I had the terrarium. Um, I'll see if
Oh,
my,
that's right.
because
That's right. Hang on.
I had my husband make it like a, what you call it,
Okay.
collage
Now
video.
that video 2 is what you were talking about, right? On that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, yes. I mean,
no.
it could just be a logical,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's
because
we
somebody
trust.
on your chat said, oh, it could be the software or something.
And it
Something.
could be. It very well could be, but
But
we can't say for sure. We can't.
right. But
I
it's
just know
funny
that,
how it's intermittent.
Yeah. That
Like
would give
some
me
days it's
the
fine
pause.
and nothing happens, and then other
yeah,
days,
I
there's
can go like 2 weeks, 3 weeks and nothing,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then
And
all
it
of a
just all of a
sudden,
sudden.
yeah,
yeah.
the night before. And it, like I said, it seems that it's kind of crazy, but every time, like, if I'm going to go to something like I went to the Bigfoot conference, or I'm going to go to a CE5, which is CE5, for those who don't know, is the Skywatch
Hmm.
to catch possible UAP activity in that. It's like the night before. I'm actually curious to see what's going to happen if anything happens. I've got to do. I do psychometry.
Uh-huh.
I do psychometry readings, and I'm going to be at an expo at the Fairy Dust Crystals and Such shop in
Oh,
Bellevue, Florida.
cool.
And that's this Saturday. And I'm curious to see if anything will take place the night before, because it seems like whenever I'm going to anything that's involved with either paranormal or ETs, that's when this stuff happens. It's weird.
Yep. It's funny you mentioned CE5.
I guess maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned CE5 because Mickey had just chimed in with this one. Oddly, I'm thinking aliens, but I've been known to be wrong. Now,
I've had a lot of things though with ETs. I want to tell you real quick. There was a night here. It was on the. It actually made the police scanner Facebook page because so many people had called in. I had an incident happen when it had all these. Everybody was reporting about these military helicopters that there was no. They couldn't explain what they weren't. They said they couldn't disclose to the police what it was as to why they came roaring through. I want to say it was around 1 something in the morning, but prior to that incident, this is when I had one of my missing time episodes.
yeah.
Prior to the helicopters roaring through, a blue light had come through my window, my blinds. And next thing I know, I have almost a 2-hour time jump. I'm like, what the hell? Because I looked at and then I looked at the clock. I was like, what just happened? And then it was like all these helicopters. And then I looked next day and it's like on the police scanner Facebook page, all these people had called in about these helicopters.
Yeah.
Military helicopters. So that was one of my first time real noticeable of missing time that happened to me. I just remember seeing that blue light coming through my blinds. So
Yeah. I forgot, somebody was telling me a story and I wish I remember who that was, and they were driving and they lost about 50 to 60 miles.
Wow.
When they were driving. Now, I have, talked about on here where we have the normal missing time, like we're thinking about everything under the sun when we take the drive from work to home or to the grocery store and home, or, like we're like, how did I get here? Did I already pass that? Where am I? But this person was talking about missing 50 to 60 miles. So that's an hour and driving.
That's insane.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. So when you talk about that, Monique, I'm like, yes, ma'am. I understand exactly what you're talking about. We all do it. We all have these time slips, that we all go through, and we can't say why or how we're going through these things, but we are.
Yeah.
Um, just a quick note. I was watching the weather before I got on the show, and we were having large storms and all these kind of tornadoes. They were hitting,
Yeah.
Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri, Illinois, and there was one heading towards Ashmore Estates in Illinois, uh,
Ooh, not
right
good.
when I got off. And we know that's one of my places that I love to go.
Yeah.
They just came on live, so I'm going to check that out after the show,
Yeah.
just to let everybody know. So if they're coming on live, I think they're okay.
I would hope so.
They're okay.
Hey guys, look at this rain coming down.
Yeah. So everybody out there, hey, just be safe.
Yeah.
Put the YouTube on your phone. Go on down into the
Is this
basement.
Central Florida? I'm confused. I live in Central Florida. Are we?
No,
No, not
Central
you.
Florida
Not
is
you.
not you. It's
Oh.
all over the United States. We have listeners from all over the United States, and then some of. So,
Yeah.
and I do watch the weather for everyone because I'm concerned about everybody that comes on here. So, I just saw that Ashmore Estates was coming on live, and that is a haunted location, and evidently they're okay.
She likes to be that overprotective mama chicken trying to bring all the chicks in, you know, and stuff.
I am. Stay
You hear
safe.
her clucking every so often, so.
Don't be scared. Be prepared, as Ryan
Yeah.
Hall would say.
But now
Okay.
also get ready down on Florida because they just today they turned that little tropical depression thing into a named storm. So it is Tropical Storm Arthur, but it's like
Yeah.
it's a very slow mover. It's going up the Texas coast. They know it's going to get into Louisiana. I don't know if it's going to get all the way to Florida or not, but it is going so slow. It's doing what Harvey did a few years ago, and it's just dumping tons of
It's
rain.
gonna flood everything out,
Yeah.
But hey, I love my storms.
Oh yeah,
I mean that paranormal activity kicks up about 100%, especially when you've got a real good storm, not a fast mover, a
yeah,
slow one that produces a lot of energy. Absolutely, and we all know
yeah.
water's a conductor,
Hmm.
so.
Yep.
I just have to smile a little bit. Every time it rains, like when we're going to a location, I'm like, and I got super excited going to a location in Jersey. It was actually Jerseyville, Illinois. Speaking of Illinois. Anyway, but there was a heat lightning storm, and it was just fantastic. So beautiful to watch. Not a raindrop to be had, but it was beautiful. And that night, we had a lot of activity, so
Hmm.
I'm
Well, the air
going
was
for that.
the air was
Yeah,
charged at that point. You could tell that from the
right.
heat light, and the air was charged.
It
So
was, absolutely looked like fireworks going off as it would go. It would just go out into a circular pattern. It was just beautiful. Anyway,
okay,
back to
time out,
what
time
we're
out.
talking about. I've already done one
Sarah
down the
Solar,
rabbit hole.
welcome. Yes, everybody out there is pretty chill. Okay.
Yeah, we're all pretty chill because we're just too old to do anything else.
Yeah. Too old
We're
or
just too old to do
too
anything
young
else.
to.
Bunch. We're a
Yeah,
good
whatever.
bunch.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, we're
Well,
very good. Very,
so
very welcoming, very, very good with everyone.
Monique, I'm gonna bring that one up we talked about right off the bat when we were talking
Yeah.
backstage earlier, and this one was.
I did
I'm the
that
electric. I'm
for
the
a
electrician guy, and I'm gonna tell the story after you go through this. I'm gonna tell you the story that I told you, and I told Brandy was. I've told Brandy the story as well because it was at the bar, not the night you guys were there, but the night I did with the owner of the bar at the time. And
Yes.
but anyway, we're gonna play this real quick, guys, and I want y'all to watch real close.
I was being
And
silly. I hope they understand.
oh no, it's all good. Like I said, y'all give me your impressions of it. So
It's ready. Okay. You there? Let me know. So good.
all right, she turned it off.
Yep.
Now that's where I told you I wish you'd have gone further. I wish you hadn't have stopped the video at that point. Now I'm going to go and move it over to the parts where, because you're talking and you're saying, if you're here, let me know, and so forth. And then you turn the lights out. Why is it not? Oh, there it goes. And then you turn the lights out. Now, everybody that's ever done electricity work, especially when you're dealing with LED bulbs, You know that they don't go out immediately. They always dissipate the energy out of the diodes and such inside. And then we get to this part where they finally crash out, and then boom, we get a flash, right? Tell me what was going on right then when you guys were doing it.
What's that?
Tell me what was going on when y'all were actually doing this. And I know you said your daughter had seen something about it or whatever, was saying something about the lights as well.
Yeah. Well, what was going on when with the other thing, that wasn't that particular night when I filmed that. I was just doing that for fun.
Yeah.
What would happen is after my lights have been out for hours, what would wake me up a lot of times during the night. One night, my daughter, she wanted to sleep in my room that night. And because this was a few years ago, she's 19 now, but she was,
Yeah.
And she's like, for me, it was normal because I'm always having crazy stuff all the time, like since I was a baby, like I said. So I'm just used to it, right? But it freaked her out because she says, "Mom, that is so weird." The light bulb just started lighting up, and it did it for it was going on for about 3 months and then just stopped. But it would do it like nightly where just one bulb was just lighting up.
Yeah.
So,
has anybody else ever had that? Do you use LED bulbs, Brandy?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Have you ever had that happen on different spots when you turn them off? And obviously I've had them as well, where at this point when they're going out, they don't go out automatically. They dim down.
They gotta
dissipate. Yeah.
Yeah. Expend the energy.
And then,
but I've never had them come back on.
You've never had them come back on. See, and I have several times. But I also had an old switch and a twisty switch, one of those you turn, to dim and off and on. So I actually think it was more of a bleed through. Here's the biggest problem with it, though. It wasn't just one like this. I've never had it do it with just one, and then that one just a flash, but then it comes back on right there at the end and doesn't go out. He kills the video. It doesn't go out, though. And I'm like, okay, now I understand the diodes and such have to dissipate their energy. They have to drop it before they truly go out. So was there still more? Why is there more energy in that one? Is it going bad? Is it getting some? It shouldn't be, because she's got a straight out switch, on off switch.
Right.
It shouldn't
bleed.
Doesn't
have the turn dial.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a bleed through at all.
No
there
dimmer.
Should not be no. So there shouldn't be a bleed through, and it's only one of the three. The ones I had do this, you remember the wagon wheel lights in the bar, right?
Yes, I do.
That one in the main bar, turned it completely off. Of course, using that. Remember how I told you I used that shiner box light as a trigger for the person I was trying to contact. And it was already getting the boss really freaked because it was actually answering using that shiner box light. I had already turned off all those lights. We were sitting in the main table in the middle of the floor, right underneath the main light. Out of the blue, they all come on. Not full blast, but like that one right there.
Yeah, we saw that video. We saw the video.
Yeah. So it that light lit up, but it was all of them. It wasn't one. It was all of them. So that made me think maybe I'm getting bleed through from the actual switch. But it was enough to scare the boss, and he ran out of there. He didn't want to play no more. He did not want to play anymore.
This is odd.
Yeah.
That they all went out, and then one came back on, went out, and came back on again.
Yeah. And looks like it stayed. Did it stay going for a little while there, Monique?
I don't know.
Did that light at the end where it was still, when it came back on after the flash, did it stay on for a while after you stopped recording?
It was a while ago. I don't remember. I think it went back out.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
But even if it's residual, like electricity coming off of the little circuit board in it, one flash and then come on and flash out or whatever, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, like I said, the other thing that to me was weird was that for 3 months, and then it just stopped.
Yeah.
It was only one bulb that would just start, and this would be hours after my light switch had been off.
Yeah.
We're talking like 1, 2 in the morning, and then the light just starts coming on. And it's not a normal light. A regular light would light up all the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just literally the bulb, but it only did it for about 3 months, where it would slowly come on around, say 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then later it would go out, but then it only lasted for like 3 months, and then it just stopped doing it. Doesn't do it anymore. So
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
So this is reminiscent to me about when people use the flashlight technique when they're investigating.
Mhm.
They will loosen up the flashlight to, so if a slight touch will either turn it on or turn it off.
Okay.
Just a slight touch. And you're saying that this light is doing this usually at around the same hour every night, and it did it for about 3 months.
Yeah, it was somewhere, I want to say it was around 1 or 2 in the morning. I don't remember, but it was always it was happening around the same time. Yeah, definitely. It wasn't like, say 6 o'clock in the morning or something. It was always.
It was always.
It was always like a few hours after I went to sleep. And it would end up waking me up because it would do that. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on?
Exactly.
Oh, well, see, and here's another one. Now, here we go. BJ. She said the same thing. She's got the same thing happening with her then. Just come up on their own. I mean,
they shouldn't be doing that. I mean, honestly.
You wouldn't think.
Especially with no power going to it. I mean,
yeah, and werewolf said it, like I was saying before, stray voltage. But if you got a straight on-off switch, it should not have any stray voltage getting into it. Now, like we said, with the dissipation of what's actually in the actual bulb already, with any circuit board, for it to truly be down, it needs to dissipate all its energy. So, I don't know.
That's fine. I mean, it is an explanation, but the other explanation is you tell me how it comes on at the same time every day.
No. I ain't getting to that part. Because I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out how, if it is stray voltage, why is it only one of them getting enough of it to do it then? Did it not dissipate enough, or did it have some sort of reserve that popped back into it? I can't tell you that. It doesn't make sense.
Daryl asked, did the light go bad after that when it stopped going on and off? No. She said it just stopped. It stopped doing it.
And you didn't change it, right? It's the same bulb. Yeah.
Same bulb.
Yeah, and it's the same time, around the same time every night that this is happening.
Okay.
And
after the switch has been turned off for hours.
Right. I don't know if, just to throw this out there too, I don't know, is it some kind of activity, or is it something connected to my paralysis episodes?
Yeah.
Because I was staying, I think this is going to sound crazy and that, but when I've had paralysis episodes, I've had electronics and everything start to screw up the next day. I was pet sitting for somebody, and they had a very expensive EE system. I think, is that what it's called? Oh shoot, they use it for healing. I know there's. Oh, my finger got stuck in my earring. It's called a Spooky 2 machine, and it's like, it goes off of the right. It's like an upstage from the Rife machine or whatever. If you've ever heard of that, people use it for healing. It's waves. What kind of waves? It puts waves or something in the. It's frequency waves or whatever to help heal the body. And this person that was pet sitting for, very expensive, very, very expensive system. and I had paralysis. And not only did one of the machines bust, the whole line, power line, there was no storm or nothing that night. The whole thing burnt out.
Wow.
And I actually had to have the electric guy or whatever, the power people come. And it was also, though, that next day when all this, from the night before of having the paralysis, I had to go to Sam's Club, and I went to walk in the, up to the store, and all the car alarms when I was walking past started going off. So I don't know. I've had a lot of weird, so I don't know the electrical. I've had a lot of weird things happen too when I have paralysis. That,
and that's another thing that I was kind of thinking. Are you a lucid dreamer? Do you remember your dreams? Okay. So I have kind of heard that people are putting off a lot of energy and things like that when they're having these dreams. They're having these lucid dreams, and they could do that. That's possibly maybe a phase of sleep that you're going through for those couple months. And then when that thing would pop on, it'd wake you up and wake you out of your dream. And, that could be a thing, that you yourself can be emitting these frequency or,
So then that's why I'm trying, because that's why I'm putting this out there, because I'm trying to have people understand that I'm not saying, oh, exactly, it's this and that.
No.
But I have had a lot of stuff involving, at least that I consider myself to be like, I don't know, stuff tied with, I remember as a kid, my first one that I can remember, the extraterrestrial incident was, and they also do this too, where they try to make something appear like a dream to you, especially when you're a child. And it's so weird because I went and saw the movie Disclosure Day. I had to see it right away especially after with my experiences. And I remember Spielberg also did it in Taken. I was like, oh my gosh, I can so remember from my own childhood. They find something that the child has a real interest in, and so if they wanted to have the child go onto the craft, and that the child won't be so, freaked out, right? Oh, I really, something to tempt them. And I had this obsession with, well, first I wanted, but we couldn't afford to get one. I wanted a blow up raft. We lived on a lake, and it was, I'm giving away my age here, but it was in the 70s. They had these tan and brown blow up rafts with the oars. And I always wanted that. So I always had that fixation in my mind. And I remember my mom I just wanted to take something and float in the lake. And I saw this, my mom, she used to be in horticulture, and she had these big containers that she would put soil in. And I would remember as a kid thinking, oh, I want to take it and take it on the lake since we can't afford this raft. Well, one night during the night, all of a sudden I'm coming out in my backyard, and I see the raft with the oars, and I see what I thought was my grandmother sitting in the raft. And as a child, I didn't know, for one thing, my grandmother would never be in it because she can't swim, and why would she be in there at night? And I remembered going down and walking down to the lake and going, and I was like, "Hi, Grandma," and I get in the raft. But the whole time, she's like this. There's no expression. There's she's almost like robotic, it looked just like her, but it wasn't her. That's what I, come to realize. Of course, when I was a kid, I didn't know any better. I just thought, well, Grandma's being awfully quiet. And I remember getting in this raft, but instead of going across the lake, the raft starts lifting up and up. And all of a sudden I see earth, and I'm seeing, the grass, the patches and everything. And I'm looking and I'm going and I see space, and so it's just really weird. Like I said, I've had all these incidents. I remember I when I did wake up at one point or whatever, because I blacked out, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
I see myself, but I wasn't home. I was somewhere, I want to say down in Mexico or something, because I was in a field and there was a toucan bird above me. And I remembered I was laying there and looking up at the toucan bird. And then I blacked out again, and I'm back in my bed. So it's just like and then I was seeing spirits, and I was seeing, I had one where I had this unnatural fear of motorcycles going down the road and that, but it didn't have to do about their sound. They're loud, loud sounds can scare kids, but there was something different about it. I was so freaked out. And then one night it came to what it ended up being all about. I saw a man all of a sudden appeared behind the screen doors. We had a Florida room, we lived in Miami, and he was just standing outside the screen door, and he had a motorcycle helmet tucked under his arm, but he had blood all over his jacket and that. And my sister remembers that incident, and she said that I had described that the man was dead, and after that happened, I no longer had a fear with motorcycles. So it was like, it was leading up to it. So I've had a mixture of things all throughout my childhood. Our house too, that house we were living at in Miami, it drove my family nuts, because they would hear, like in the living room, sounded like somebody was taking a ball and bouncing it at the ceiling like a tennis ball or something. And we'd hear walking on our ceiling and stuff at night, and just crazy things. And we were all seeing, my brother was seeing this heavy set woman in his closet with a shopping cart, and it scared him and that. But I have a whole story along with that. But
right, yeah, I mean, you kind of gather them as you go. You really do that. Now, go ahead, Randy, if you had something to ask.
I said yeah. All I said was yeah.
Yeah, because I'm going to kind of change directions right here. Now, Monique, you said that you're getting into podcasting.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I started. So yeah, would love to interview other experiencers. I think it's so important that people are able to get out there and express, because when you're an experiencer, especially in a lifetime, it can be very isolating, and you're also afraid if you're going out there, you're going to be ridiculed. You're going to be, people are just. But I think that the more it's out there, the more that we have people coming forward and saying, well, this happened, and that, people are going to be less afraid, and it's going to start to be more, I don't say normalized, but I mean, it'll be something where we're not going to just right off the bat throw somebody off, because some people can go through some, I myself, of one of them, have gone through some really traumatic experiences, because like I said, I've had the ETs and I've had the spirits, but I've had some very terrifying like demonic entities and stuff that showed up, so I've had good and bad experiences. So I think it's important. So that's why we have podcasts out there.
Yeah, I think you're perfectly correct in saying sharing experiences makes it easier for people to come forward and talk about theirs. Because some of these can be like PTSD. They suffer from this their whole entire life from these experiences, and they don't have to.
Right.
They really don't have to. I realize that the paranormal, aliens, cryptids, they're all becoming more mainstream. and it's great to hear the stories and stuff. But there are still people out there that will not talk about what had happened
Right.
to them.
Mhm.
So that's why we do what we do, because we want to talk about this stuff. We really want to investigate it and see what's really going on, and maybe find out, a few little answers to the big picture. We don't know. We can only guesstimate what we think's happening, and we can give a scientific diagnosis, maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
And
It's a big maybe.
know that it's not all, because some people, they automatically assume like I've heard, I'm sorry, but I don't agree with this, where I've heard people just blanket statements say all ETs are demons, and that drives me freaking bananas. I've had some very good experiences.
And you're right, because I hear a lot of people say that. And if you're not having a discussion about angels, everything that falls underneath that's a demon.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that's not what we're talking about.
No,
some of these things walking the earth were like you and me when they were breathing.
Right.
That doesn't mean they're an angel, and it doesn't mean they're a demon. It's their own thing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is the universe. How I always try to say to people is, if you notice, everything in the universe has an equal opposite. Everything. So even when you're talking about if we have good humans and bad humans, why wouldn't it be the same with an extraterrestrial? And if you got angels, why wouldn't you have demons? Why wouldn't you? I mean, everything has an opposite. You have up, you have down, you have right, you have left. This is the way, everything in the universe is.
Right. Absolutely. And I think that with, because you're such a great person to talk to, and so upbeat, and I think you're going to do really great being able to talk to people about these things and hit that side with them when you're podcasting. I mean, we jump down some rabbit holes, and trust me, we go way out there. Way out there, because we do not have an explanation for what happened. No. We can't say that this is what it is.
One of my incidents, and it's going to sound really crazy, I had what was going on for weeks. It seemed like pregnancy symptoms, and then the finale came where I started having all this pain and pressure, like as if there was something there. I went to 2 different doctors. They couldn't see past a certain point when they examined me. And the first 2 days, it got to be the 3rd day where I finally was like, I need something, because I was having all this pressure and stuff down there, and gave me something it was like a muscle relaxer or something. But during that 3-day period, I was feeling something weird in my navel, and it was gritty. It was weird. It was so weird. And then the 3rd day, this was what was the craziest, when it was the strongest and the worst. The very next day, everything was gone, but no pain, pressure, or nothing. It was all gone. I didn't have to take any more of the muscle relaxer or anything. But I felt down in my navel, and I had blood. There was blood all of a sudden coming out of my navel, and it looked like, I didn't send you a picture of it, but I did take a picture of it. Looks kind of like an incision was done. And that was really strange.
Why did we not start with this story? Why did we
not start? She didn't tell me this one. She didn't tell me this one.
I have so many. I just never know where to start.
Oh my God!
I have a feeling we just got ripped off for an hour and a half here. Hang on.
We did. She just gave us a little teaser at the end for, ta-da!
Well, she's got to set up for her podcast. I mean, it's got to have something to lead in.
I get it, but wow!
Yeah,
just wow!
An incision.
Right. Did the doctors have any explanation for something that looked like that, or did
They were confused.
I'm confused? Because you know exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking alien abduction, like
Yeah.
bam, bam. You
Yeah.
know, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have led with that one. That's a good story.
I
That's a
don't know
good story. You're like, I don't know. It
I
just,
don't know how much time you have, but this is also a weird story. If you see this watch,
yeah.
I never owned this. It appeared in my handbag. I had a completely empty handbag, and the whole story was the reason was that I made sure, because I was getting ready to go to a bike fest in Leesburg because it's a pretty big thing, but I had had a shoulder injury and I didn't want any extra weight whatsoever. Now that night when I went, my bag, the bag, it was a completely empty bag. I made sure there was nothing in it because I didn't want extra weight. And so there was nothing, absolutely nothing in it. So I put my things in it. But it wasn't until the next day, my son wanted to take us all out to eat. And so, like, okay. So we're all piled up into the car. And as I'm walking with the handbag, I'm like, oh, my shoulder, this bag feels heavier, because a little bit of weight, when you have an injury, you feel it, right? And so I unzipped my purse and I'm trying to see, did I put something in there that, is causing this weight or something? But no, it was the stuff I had, in there. And then I unzipped this other compartment. And like I said, I had checked the day before to make sure there was absolutely nothing, even in the zip compartments. All of a sudden, I find this watch. And I started to get mad at my son. And I said, I told you I don't want anything in my bag, Brandon. I have a injury and it hurts. I don't want be carrying any extra weight. And he said, Mom, I don't even own a watch. It was a man's watch, right? So it was really strange. So I later on decided I would do some psychometry on it because I really wanted to know. And so I picked up this man's name and I picked up military and everything right away. And that when I was, doing my psychometry, and all of a sudden, I didn't think too much of it. Went to bed that night. I started dreaming about this man. It came really clear in my dream, and I was dreaming that he was high up in the military. And I remembered seeing this frosted glass, but to me that was a metaphor in the dream to say that where I was entering was top secret. And I remembered there being this room filled with these scientists or whatever, and he was in there, but I couldn't see what they were doing, but I could hear that they were using ET AI technology, but it was like ET AI technology was what I heard. The weird part was, and I went and told my friend Aurora, who does ET art, by the way, and she was like, well, you should do some more. I have a feeling you need to do some more psychometry on it. Because I told her this dream just kind of blew me away, right? And I felt like it was connected to that watch. And then I started doing more. And of course, I got a first name and a last name. When I first got the last name, she looked it up for me. And she was like, well, I can't find, because it was a black man. It was a black man in the military. It was a doctor. And it's like, that's what when I was doing the psychometry the day before, I said, I get the feeling that this man was in the military and he was a doctor. And so when she looked up the first name, because I got a couple names, but I felt like he had a brother, and that I think I mixed up him and the brother's name. But anyways, it ended up being that it was just one or two syllables off with the last name. Oh my gosh. When she put in the name, um, all of a sudden it comes up on this site, War Docs or something. I can't give the guy's name away because I have to be careful. Holy cow. It has these pictures. Here's the man that I saw in my dreams. And it turns out he's retired. He worked for Walter Reed Medical Center, which is what the president, with the president.
Right.
And so I don't know why this watch. I got all kinds of things. Like I was picking up possibly a grandmother's name and all that too, along with it, because I would just get like these visions of when I was doing my psychometry. That's usually how it happens. I'll start. This is kind of like a movie, and I'm seeing everything. Right. And so she was like, is there any engraving on the back? And I said, yeah. I mean, it looks like there's a serial number in that. And so this looks like just an ordinary watch, right? Just like,
Mm-hmm.
And when Googled it, it said it is an ordinary watch. However, this watch is unique. The serial number, this particular type of watch, you can only get when you're in the military.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Can you hold it up where I can look at it then? A little bit closer?
Yeah, sorry, it's the
camera. No, you're fine. You're fine.
I dropped it though. One that I kind of broke it a little.
And it's got a little bit of a different band, but you're right. That's a military issue watch.
That's what the serial number said. It was.
Oh, military. Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind.
You can see where the story went full circle. It's kind of like everything kind of made sense at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fantastic.
I don't even know how I got that watch. I made a joke about it saying, what am I, a sleepy klepto or something?
Yeah, somebody wanted you to have that watch. That's all there was to it. You had to have that watch.
Yep.
But
so,
with that being said, we've got to get off of here. We have reached our hour and a half. Paranormal Paul and Paranormal Among Us is now on. So we're going to have to jump off to give him leeway and room. And thank you so much, Monique, for coming on. I still think you should have led with the story of the belly button.
Sorry.
the belly button story. That's
we're going to have to get her focused. Focus.
All right, but that one's got me weirded out. Okay. Donnie, you doing anything this weekend?
Considering it depends. I got some stuff going on this weekend, but I'm going to try to squeeze a show in, but I can't make any promises.
There you go. Well, of course, you know that Blondes and Booze is going to be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, right here on the same channel. And don't forget to tune into the Bazaar with BMR. That is on at 10 o'clock p.m. Central on Saturday evening, as always. But with that being said, good night, everybody. See you next time.
See ya.